Hi guys, this is the first time I've ever tried blurring my video. I always record these things on Zoom, and today I'm just kind of sitting in like a stupid corner of my house. So I was like, let's try blurring it. Okay, let's talk about things that actually matter. Okay, one thing that I haven't talked about at all is the incredible fact that Easter is happening exactly in between these two eclipses. Like, what in the world? So, in between two eclipses, basically during that 2 week time, everybody's energies open wide so that we can all receive divine downloads during that whole 2 weeks. And okay, so let's take a look at Easter real quick. This chart is really fascinating to me. It has almost no nothing going on in the middle of that. And just to show you how kind of weird that is. Okay, there's the bridge collapse. Let's see. Here's the lunar eclipse. It's got like a bunch of stuff happening. But right here in between, for Easter, I mean, look, everything is gathered right up there. Now, I picked 12 o'clock p.m. To run it from because that's like the middle of the day. I picked Carbondale, Illinois, because that is the intersection of the two eclipses that happened in 2017 and 2024, the one that's about to happen. So that's why I selected that location and that time. But this is kind of an interesting little setup here. So, um, okay, so let's go back to talking about the point of Easter and how interesting it is that it's in between these two eclipses. So my understanding is that in that period of time between two eclipses, uh, our energy fields kind of open up from one direction or another. And at the very center of the time between two eclipses, exactly 1 week in to this 2 week eclipse portal, it's your heart energy that's wide open. And with this exact eclipse, our heart energy is going to be open right during Easter, which just seems really, really significant when we also take into account that Jonah, the sign of Jonah, right? And this concept that maybe we're all being called to have a little bit of a death and rebirth, let go of our old patterns and our old ways of being and step into something new. And how symbolic that that would be taking place right as our hearts are wide open for divine information and divine revelation um on Easter Sunday. So that is just something that I thought was okay, that's worth talking about. So as we pull up this chart for Easter, of course, it's not going to be that different from the full moon that we just had, the lunar eclipse, and then the solar eclipse, because most planets are not moving that much in between. But they are still moving, and as you can see, like the lunar eclipse that just happened a few days ago, that had the moon right over here in Libra, and now it's already bam all the way over here, and then by the time it gets to be the solar eclipse, the moon will be all the way there. The moon is the fastest mover in the star chart for sure. But as I was looking at this and thinking about the significance of the moon and the moon's placement, because of course Easter is calculated based on the movements of the moon, I just thought how interesting it is that the moon will be in Sagittarius at that time, which Sagittarius is the sign of religion. It's the sign of especially kind of like dogmatic thinking. And I don't know. I mean, you would say Pisces is like the sign of spirituality and Sagittarius is the sign of religion. That does not mean that everyone with a Sagittarius sun is going to be religious. That's not what it means. Because the thing about Sagittarius is that what it really likes is learning higher knowledge, the kind of knowledge you can't learn in kindergarten, the stuff you can't learn in grade school. It wants to take things to the next level. It wants to structure information and organize it. Basically, Sagittarius is like a college professor or like Miss Frizzle. It's a very fun energy and very exciting and very oriented towards forward motion. It wants to have excitement and adventure, and it really cares about information and organizing it in a structured way. And so that's one reason why it's associated with religion, because what can be more expansive than religion, and I know there's a lot of arguments that religion is not expansive and the oppression of people and stuff like that, but hopefully we can also say that there is a case to be made for our connection with God and putting our own personal connections with God into a logical structure that makes sense, Like that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the expansive religious nature of Sagittarius. But even an atheist with strong Sagittarius is still probably going to be called to atheism because they're trying to put expansive knowledge about the workings of the universe in a logical order that makes sense to them. So anyway, with the moon here in Sagittarius, I was thinking, man, I think we're all just going to be called to be a little bit more expansive, to be a little bit more explorative when it comes to the things that we think about, when it comes to our kind of religious expression. And again, I'm not talking about necessarily like an exact religion, but more so the structured and organized view of how reality works. I think everybody is going to feel a little bit of a calling to explore that a little bit more on Easter Sunday. Oh, and here comes all of my crazy children. Let's just close that door. Okay. Now the moon right here. So if you look at this chart, there a lot of these things are hardly interacting with each other at all. Here is Jupiter and Uranus interacting with nothing at all. Okay, no lines there. That means they're not interacting. Hey, I'm recording a video. I'll be done in 5 minutes. Hey, get out of here. Okay, get the llama and get out of here. Okay. Okay, go. No, I can't. We're out of salad. There's no lettuce in our whole house. I need to go grocery shopping.
What about without?
There's no lettuce at all. There's no lettuce. You can't have a salad without lettuce. There's nothing else to put on it. Okay, I can help you in a few minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, real life. Hashtag I have 5 kids. Okay. I was hiding from them to make this video, but they found me. Okay, so the moon is really the biggest player on this chart, the sun and the moon. And so this moon is squaring this little stellium right here, which is Venus, the part of fortune, and Neptune in Pisces. So Venus and the part of fortune and Neptune all together squished so tight at 24, 25, and 27 degrees. This creates a stellium. Some people would disagree and not count the part of fortune as part of that because it is technically a mathematical point and not a thing. But to me, when I see this, I'm thinking of Venus deals with money, it deals with relationships. Neptune deals with illusion and delusion and basically like spiritual connection beyond the veil, which if you think about it, you can have positive spiritual connection beyond the veil and you can have negative, horrifying connection beyond the veil. I just got a reel in my Facebook feed that was like wedding bouquets inspired by horror films. It was like, I watched it because I'm like, I guess it's just flowers, but it's like flowers inspired by The Exorcist. Anyway, the point is that our spiritual connections are not always all positive. And so when I'm looking at this, what I'm seeing is that we have the potential for really positive spiritual connection and positive spiritual downloads, especially around our relationships and money. But also, we could be very delusional and actually get unhelpful spiritual downloads about relationships and money. And it really will just come down to what's going on in your own heart. Are you living your life in a way that you are easily able to receive accurate information, accurate spiritual information from a positive source, like God, our angels, other positive things, okay? Or are you in the kind of space where you are more likely to end up being confused by the kinds of forces out there that want us delusional and confused? Now, this energy here is squaring the moon. That's all these red squares right there. What that's telling us is that there's going to be some tension between our spiritual downloads about relationships and money and the feeling that we'll have in our heart to be expansive and to be thinking about things in a new way. So what could that possibly look like for us? I haven't super thought it through, to be honest. So let's tune in and just take a look. What might this look like? Whenever you have a square, historically squares were considered negative. All these red lines in the chart were considered negative. I don't think of them that way. I like them. I say that, I have to say that because I have a bunch of those in my own chart. But they do cause a bunch of tension. But to me, I always think of like a tightrope. You can't walk on a tightrope unless it's tight. And so this is creating the tightrope. There is going to be some tension between our emotions and the feelings that we're feeling about how to move forward with our relationships and our finances. When that tension shows up, we've got to just be really careful that we fully engage with our feelings and with the thoughts that are coming into our minds and hearts about our relationships and money. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is you're going to pay attention to your physical body sensations. Your feelings are the combination of your emotions and the physical sensations that you feel. So when an idea comes into your mind surrounding Easter in the days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday area, what I want you to do is as ideas come to you about relationships or finances, I want you to see how you feel in your heart about it. How does your body feel about it? I really want you to pause and take a deep breath and really sense your own sensations and probably even write them down. I think that would be very, very helpful for a lot of us to just to quantify it, treat our feelings as data and sit there and say, okay, does this thought bring me peace? Is this making me feel calm and happy and feel like God is putting this idea in my mind? Does this idea give me a heart attack and make me feel awful because maybe this is not a good idea? Now, of course, sometimes God tells us things and it makes us have a little panic attack because we know it's the right thing to do and we know we have to do it and we don't want to do it. But you are qualified to assess the feelings within and the sensations within and determine, I'm feeling yucky feelings because I should not do this. Or I'm feeling yucky feelings because I really should do it and I just don't want to, but I know that I should. I hope this is making sense. Now, the moon is also trining Chiron and Mercury at that time. So that's going to lead to a natural flow of energy back and forth between the moon and Chiron and Mercury. So that Chiron deals with our deepest soul wounds. Mercury is our talker, blah, blah, blah. And when I look at this trine, my big caution for all of us heading into Easter weekend is going to be, please just be so mindful and thoughtful about how you talk to other people and how you talk to yourself. This little combo of energy to me looks like big feelings are going to show up for us. They're going to trigger wounds inside of us, and they're going to inspire us to tell people about it and talk about it and ruminate on it. Mercury deals with thinking and especially overthinking. So as triggery things show up for us, if they do over this weekend, you can opt out of causing a bigger problem for yourself by being mindful of how you speak about your life. Okay, we're going to speak life over our own life. Okay, we're going to speak the good things over our own lives. And if we're feeling triggered, we're going to go within and feel our feelings and connect with God and work together with our creator and our own soul to hopefully figure out a happy way to speak truth over our own lives so that we don't get crippled by our triggers during this critical time. Okay, well, my kids are really having a moment. I don't think I'm going to use this background blur again. It's too weird for me, but thanks for humoring me, guys. I love you so much. I'll talk